Hello, good morning. Can anybody hear me? Who's in the text chat at the moment? I see a few people were here. Sebastian, are you still there? I've just posted the link for the work we're going to look at today. Hypothetical sentences and structures. Hypothetical, something which may or may not happen. So we might look at words like wish, could, hope, all of these kind of words. If nobody's joining at the moment, I'll screen share the first exercise. I really wanted to speak to a few of you to see how we're going to level this. So please join the room as soon as you can, if you're here. Anybody here? Hello? Okay, so I'm looking at things like this. We've got some sentences here, and we're going to look at the sentences and see if we think they're correct or not. If they're not correct, then we will offer some corrections. The first sentence: I wish my dad couldn't always be so cross with me. Okay, well, I'm just waiting to see if somebody can join. What do you think about this first sentence? I wish my dad couldn't be so cross with me. Sentence number 2. I wish I had an older brother. Quite often we come across the words wish and hope, and they can be a little bit confusing sometimes. I was just thinking about why we sing we wish you a Merry Christmas and not I hope you have a great Christmas. Maybe it's something like magic or something. So hope and wish. We've also got some exercises here. If we have any problems with hope and wish. For example, some sentences here, and we have to choose hope or wish. So, is there anybody here today? So, I hope to see some people. Anybody here? Hi there, Jose. Hi.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Hello. Good to see you. Because it's quiet here today. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Today is Sunday and it's holiday and today I have free time for a lot
And
of things.
what do you usually do on Sunday?
I usually get up at 8:30 more or less, or 8, because I had one son and my son wake up me, and I usually have breakfast, and today I would like to improve my English more, and probably 1 2 hours after I have to drink and have to eat a little with my family, with my son and with my wife.
And do you have any
Um,
children, Jose?
yes, I had one son.
I have two
He,
sons. How old is your
he's,
son?
he's 3 years old, and this month he's his birthday, and he has been 4 years old.
Ah, my two boys are 9 and 10 years old. Daniel and Mark. Well, I think your English is improving already.
I would like to improve more my English. I think it's important.
I can hear them.
I have my child
Brilliant.
near here. It's very funny to stay with him.
Okay, well, I suppose you should spend time with him, but I hope you can spend some time learning with us today. Let me just speak to Inga for a moment then. Inga, are you there? Hello, Inga. I can't hear you because there's some sound problem again. Jose, are you still there?
Yes, I am here. Yes, I am here.
Inga, your sound is making a noise and I can't hear your voice.
Sorry.
Okay, well, we'll try and get started soon. So, first of all, we're going to be looking at some sentences. I hope that they're not too difficult. So, Jose, perhaps if you have time, tell me if you're busy with your son, but if you have time, if you're here, try to read the first sentence for me now.
Okay. I wish my dad couldn't always be so cross with me.
Great, that was well read. Now, can you tell me what you think about this sentence?
I don't understand so cross.
Well, okay, let's try and see what bits look okay. You know that when we say I wish my dad, so that looks quite good to me, but something else in this sentence looks strange. Do you have any problem with part of the sentence? Do you know the word cross, to be cross with somebody?
I don't know what does mean in this sentence.
So the word cross, is that something, you know, if you are cross with somebody, you are angry, maybe with children. So the teacher was very cross, a little bit angry. Maybe she was crossing her arms and had a very stern look.
Okay.
So I wish my dad couldn't always be so cross with me. There might be another problem with this sentence.
Uh, is wrong the sentences or?
The sentence is wrong, actually, yes.
Ah.
So that word couldn't is the problem. Because if you say, I wish somebody couldn't, what is couldn't speaking about?
Well then, I think it's in the past, no? And
Sometimes
negative.
it's in the past. Sometimes it's in the past, yes. But it speaks about ability. Do you know this word, ability?
Yes, yes.
So it's not always speaking about ability. The word can
Yes.
can be a modal verb, and it's not always ability, because sometimes we use can for other things.
For
So
permission, for example.
can you tell me a sentence where you use can and it's not ability?
I can swimming. Or I can swim.
I can't swim, that's ability. So look, if I say I can't swim, then this is ability. But sometimes can is used more generally for different things.
For example, can I go out?
So there it's used for permission, yes. I've got your voice back now, that's good. I couldn't hear you earlier.
Thanks.
So you see the modal verb can be used in many different ways.
Can be future also.
Yes, it can. It can be in the future too, but this one here is wrong. This one is not good. This couldn't is not good. So have a look at it. I wish my dad couldn't always be so cross with me. So does anybody have an idea of an alternative word there? Let's change that word couldn't.
Maybe wasn't.
Change.
Hello.
Change couldn't.
Oh, hello. Sorry, I can hear you.
Can't.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I want to change it to, because I don't think we should have can or couldn't at all. Inga, do you have any ideas?
I think maybe something like wasn't. Or
Wasn't, or wasn't is interesting. I wish my dad wasn't always so cross with me, because we usually use wish to speak about something which we would like to change, a kind of hypothetical situation we would like to change. And so I was thinking about, I wish my dad wouldn't always be so cross with me. It is possible to use to wish something of the past, but I think it sounds very natural if I say, I wish my dad wouldn't always be so cross with me. Let's have a look at the second one, because let's roll along a bit, because we're nearly halfway through the lesson and we haven't even got started really today. So Inga, can you take sentence number 2 and read it for us?
I wish I had an older brother.
Correct or incorrect?
I think it's correct.
Yes, and Jose, notice the form of I wish. Can you see I wish plus what? The form of I wish.
I think it repeats 2 times I and.
Yeah, it's
I
a
think it's
past
wrong because-
tense, Jose. I wish I had. I wish I
past
I would
Word.
like to have other brother.
Yeah, that's the meaning, and it's one of these verbs which is followed by a past tense. So there are some other words in English which do this. So does anybody know any other expressions which are followed by past verbs, even though they're not speaking about the past directly? Here's another one. It's time I... Can anybody make a sentence with it's time I?
I would like.
time I had to go.
It's time I had to go, or it's time I left. It's time I left, or it's time to leave. So let's have a look at number 3, and then we'll practice a bit more. So, Atay, are you here in the room as well?
Yes, I'm here.
Good, good. It's great to
How are
have
you,
at least 2 or 3 people. It wasn't so busy this morning when I started the lesson. So could I ask you to just, without further ado, could you go straight into number 3 there, please?
Okay. Number 3. If only I would. Can I have the link, please?
The link, please, yes, and let me get the link. Can you read it? You can't read it on the screen very easily.
Okay, okay. I found it.
I will pass the link, but
I found it.
passing it. Okay, so number 3.
Number 3. If only I would spend more time with my family.
Now, what do you think about this sentence?
The person who wrote this sentence means that he's wishing if just he could spend more time with his family because he's too busy apparently.
Does anybody see anything strange about this sentence? It strikes me as slightly strange. I wonder if it's...
It sounds strange.
Yeah, maybe we need to change would to could. If only I could spend more time with my family.
Well, tell me more about that, because that seems to be... it does make me understand the sentence more. If you say, if only I could spend more time with my family, I can understand it much more easily. But as it's written here, if only I would spend more time with my family, then I'm thinking a lot about it now, and I can't really understand it. It's strange. So tell me why you think it should change.
Because it's something happened in the past about which you are now. How to say?
Is it the past? Where's the past here?
Sorry, no.
If only I could. Yeah, because if you say if only I could, you see we've got could, which is the past of can.
Or like this, if only I could have spent more time with my family.
Ah, now you're changing to the past. Now you're changing to the past. So I don't want you to change the meaning too much. So let's stick with your first suggestion. If only I could spend more time with my family. You've got could, but is it really the past?
But would here, I think it doesn't mean the past.
Well, not really, no. Because if I say, if only I could...
I think if I was only, I would spend more time with my... If I wasn't only, I would spend more time with my family, or if I was only.
It's a kind of regret. If only is a regret about the situation. This person is too busy to spend time with their family, and they know that this is the situation. They can't spend enough time with their family, and they say, if only I could spend more time with my family. So it's not the past, it's a regret about the situation.
It means That it means that he don't have the choice.
Really, yes. It means that there's nothing he can do about it.
Exactly. Yes.
And the sentence number 3, as it's written, is rather strange because you usually use would. How? Do you use it for yourself like this? Or do you use it for another person? What about if only she would spend more time with her family? Does that sound better?
Yes. Much better, I think.
So it's the strange thing with if only I would is using a regret about yourself, because surely you could change the situation if it was your choice, and you use this if only he would because you can't change another person. Sometimes you can't change other people, so you can say, I wish he wouldn't do that. If only he would stop. So this is what's strange about number 3, is that for some reason you're not in control of yourself. If only I would spend more time with my family, but I'm totally out of control of myself. I can't. It's strange. So we say usually would with a third person. If only she wouldn't do that. If only she would spend more time on it. So let's go to 4. So Jose, back to you, please. Could you read 4?
Okay. I'd rather we don't spend the whole evening with your parents.
Yeah, let's try to read it with just a couple of word changes in pronunciation. So I'd rather, that was perfect. I'd rather we don't spend the whole. The whole is just with, like a hole in the ground. The whole evening with your parents. Parents is not right. It's parents or parents. So can you read it once more?
Yes. I'd rather we don't spend the whole evening with your parents.
Yes, okay, much better. Okay, so now tell me what you think about that sentence. Could you tell me the situation when we use this sentence? What is it about? What does it mean?
It means you don't have all the evening with your parents.
Is it speaking about the past or the future?
Can I speak?
Well, let me ask Jose first. You think about that, you two. Think about, for all of these, think about the tenses and the meaning. Is it the future or the past?
I think future.
Do we think future, Altai?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I do. I think it could be the future. So there's maybe we're going out later, and we're making plans, and perhaps he wants to spend some time with the parents, but then go out. So I'd rather we don't spend the whole evening with your parents. Now, is it correct? I suppose because we've understood it and it has a clear meaning, it's going to be correct.
Yes, it's correct.
So let's say it's correct then. So Atai, can you go to the next one?
Okay. I wish my sister would come and see us more often.
So is this a hypothetical situation, or is it something from the past or the future? Can you explain it?
Okay. I think he is speaking about in a hypothetical way. So he's imagining, the person who is speaking is imagining or wishing that his sister can come and visit him more and spend time with him.
And what does his sister really do?
She doesn't do this.
She doesn't do this, that's right. She says maybe that she'll come sometime, but she's always busy, she doesn't come. I wish my sister would come and see us more often. So you see, sometimes we have the past, couldn't, would, and other verbs, And we're not really speaking about the past. It's a hypothetical situation. Okay, so number 6, Inga.
If only grandfather were here today. It's correct, I think.
And what does it mean? Is grandfather here?
No.
So what do you think the situation might be?
The person thinking about grandfather and wish he was here.
So
Yeah.
can you change it with, can you use the word wish in that sentence? Can you make a sentence like that with wish?
I wish my grandfather were here today.
So the same meaning, and we just changed if only to I wish. Yes, so we can use only without I, if only, I wish, and it seems to be quite similar. Good. So 7 for you, Jose, please.
Don't you wish you have revised more for the exam?
So the person that you're speaking to, have they revised or not? Do you know this word revise?
Yes,
Revision?
I think it's review. No?
Review is very close, but a revision and revise is to look over something that you should know. Very much like review, yes, but a review is more something you're telling other people, if it's a noun. Yeah, they're very similar. So, question, have they revised or not?
Wish you have. You have. I think it's wrong.
I think the sentence is actually okay, and it's interesting. There's something we need to look at here. So this time, after wish, what's the tense after wish, Jose? Don't you wish you had revised? What tense is that?
I don't know. Sorry, repeat.
It's
Please.
a perfect. It's a tense from the. What's the tense, everybody?
Past perfect.
Past perfect. So what happens, Inga, when we see that tense come in there? Instead of before, we had past tenses, but they didn't really mean the past. But now we have the past perfect, and they're speaking about regret of something that really happened in the past.
When we use past perfect, it means that we speak about something who started and finished in the past.
Well, that's the classic past perfect. Yeah. So actually, sometimes we can see the past tense doesn't really mean the past at all. It's more for a feeling. Sometimes this happens not just with the past simple, but some other tenses. For example, the present simple is used for regular things. And can anyone tell me another example of a tense which has a meaning which might not be absolutely the meaning of fixed in the time?
When I say I for example, I study, it means that I'm really studying. It means that I am a student, but I can use the present to express a fact. For example, the sky is blue.
Yeah, so the
Or
present simple is quite a tricky
yeah,
tense, and we have to use the present continuous to speak about now, but sometimes the present continuous might not mean now. Can you tell me where the present continuous, for example, I am going out.
Mm-hmm.
Going out, I'm sitting here. I'm going out tonight.
Yes.
So we see here in these other sentences, they have the past simple, but they're not really the past simple because it's just a past form and it's hypothetical. But now we have past perfect, so that's really something about the past. Don't you wish you had revised more for the exam? We're speaking about the past. It's too late now to change the past, but we're speaking about the past, and it's correct. So let's, Atay, let's go to the next one, please. 8.
Okay. David and Sarah really wish they could be there for Sam's birthday.
So this one might be difficult to understand. So can you understand it and explain the situation?
Yes. Sarah and David wish that they have the opportunity to assist a birthday taking place in the future, but they know now that they won't be able to assist it.
Very,
Am I
very
right?
good work. Yes, that's how I read it. That's how I read it. So, Inga, were you along the same lines? Did you agree with that?
Yes.
Yes. Jose, watch that carefully. So, David and Sarah really wish they could be there for Sam's birthday. They are really saying, "Ah, that would have been great, but I'm sorry I can't." I said, "Oh, I wish I could come." That means, well, it's just not possible because I live in a different country or something like that. So if there was any chance at all, they might use hope. I hope I can come to that, but I wish I could, but I can't. All right, so Inga, can you go to the next one?
With you or rather, I came back a bit later.
Can you give a little story or a little situation where this could be said? Just describe to me a conversation between two people and what's happening here when you might say this.
I'm not sure if it's correct. I think here we need come in present simple form, but yes.
Would you rather I come back a bit later? Would you rather I came back a bit later? So why do you want that to be in the present form? Would you rather I come back?
I think that that situation is happening now, and people talking to each other, and one of them wanna to go and say to others that would you rather I come back later? Maybe they have some plans.
Well, I think you understand the meaning of it, but I think it's better with came in the past. So it's something like this. I go to call on somebody in their office at work, and I knock on the door and open it, because usually I can just open the door, and then I just poke my head around the corner, and then I see that the person in the office has other people in the office, and I apologize for interrupting, and I say, "Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you were already in a meeting. Would you rather I came back a bit later?" So
Yes.
again, the came is not real past, but it's the hypothetical aspect. It's the way that people would say this. So
Yes,
so it's a past form. So let's go to Jose, to the last one. Jose, number 10. I'd like you to just say yes or no to number 10.
Okay. It's time the children go to bed.
There's just children here, not children's. It's time the children go to bed.
It's time the children go to bed. Mm, it's a good sentence.
Good sentence. Don't say sentencey, say sentence.
Sentence.
Yeah. So, it well, it might be possible, but I think that we have to first of all think about what we think it means. So, Atai, what do you think about it?
The children aren't yet in the bed, but it's time to go.
It's time to go to bed is good. It's time to go, but it's
But they aren't in the bed.
They went. It's time to go. It's time they went.
So it means we can replace to go by they went. But it means that we can use the to go the verb to go in the past. It doesn't mean really the past. Right?
That's right. Yeah. So if sentence number 10 as it's written, it's time the children go to bed. That can be used, but in another situation completely. We're speaking about times, and somebody says to me, "Can I come round a bit later to see you? Maybe at 10 o'clock this evening?" And I say, "Oh, it's not really convenient. It's the time the children go to bed." But if I say it's time they went to bed, I'm urging them or trying to say, now it's bedtime, everybody, come on, let's go.
Okay.
So that's a bit of a warm-up. Now let's see what we've got. 2 more to do. So Inga, can you do number 11?
I wish I could stop biting my nails. It's correct.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Why can't you stop?
It's like general action.
A habit.
I do, yeah, which I do usually.
Yes, and so it's a kind of habit. And if I say I wish I could, I feel powerless and I can't do something. So I wish I could go, but I can't. I wish I could stop biting my nails, but it's just every moment I just keep doing it, and I have to say to myself, stop that. And we wouldn't use would here. I wish I would, because would is strange when we use it with I. I wish they would stop biting their nails. I wish the children would stop biting their nails. So, Atai, can you just finish with number 12?
Okay. Suppose somebody will see us taking the money. I think some thieves are going on to do a robbery, and they are wondering if someone is going to see them.
Yeah, that sounds like the situation. So, what about the grammatical accuracy of the sentence?
I would rather. I would rather. Do you suppose somebody will see us, or do you think that somebody will see us? Because here we are using a verb suppose without using a person. We don't know the person who we are talking to.
I don't like saying. I don't like something else about this sentence. Any ideas, Inga or Jose? Any ideas about something strange here?
I think it's in the past. Taking. No, I see.
It's not. It's a thought about a possible danger in the future. Now, there's a common problem with a word in English. We have a word in English to help us with the future, because the verbs don't have a future tense in many languages. So in most languages we use words to indicate the future. we use a word will.
Yes, yes.
But sometimes we don't need it because we have words like when, and when I go, is that the future?
No.
It could be general, but it could be the future. I'll do that when I go. Then it's the future. So when we know it's the future, we don't need will. Will is just a helping word to fix us into the future. So if we don't need it, it's a messy word. So look at the word suppose. And that verb, like any other verb, like when or something, can be thought of, it must be in the future. Suppose somebody, and then when I say suppose somebody, if I use a past form, then I'm in the past, but otherwise I'm in the future. I don't need will. So how can we say this nicer?
Suppose somebody see us taking the money.
Nearly right, but you said somebody see, and that doesn't conjugate, does it? So suppose somebody
Show us.
see is correct, but it just needs some work, needs some more, because let me ask you this question. Somebody, sorry, I've answered the question. I shouldn't have done that.
Indeed.
Somebody is here. They are here. Singular. Even they are here, but somebody is here. So suppose somebody sees us. Suppose somebody sees us taking the money. What will we do then? Suppose somebody sees us.
Okay.
We don't need will. And using will when it's not needed is a common mistake. Sometimes will is a tricky word, actually, because there are some cases where it's used in another sense entirely, not really just the future, like a polite invitation. If you will, so there are different wills, but sometimes we use will too liberally, too much, and it's not good.
I'm sorry. Could I ask a question?
Sure, yeah.
Here the word taking is a gerund, yes?
Yes.
I mean it's not continuous tense.
Well,
Just
I think it's that sometimes it's difficult to say whether you're looking at a continuous or gerund, but I suppose here it's a kind of continuous form, because a continuous verb sometimes is a gerund is a kind of noun, and it's a question of the feeling of it. Let's think about that. Suppose somebody sees us taking. I would say it's personally, I don't need to worry about it too much, but I don't really see that it causes any problems. And why we need to think about whether that's a continuous or a gerund. But when are there times when is it that they're so different, the gerund and a continuous? I suppose it's just the aspect, whether or not it's a real noun, it's kind of has a nounish feeling in a sentence, or whether it's a verb. So grammatically, sometimes we could say the problem was the taking of the money, and then it's got a the before it, so then we can say it's clearly a gerund. But I wouldn't worry too much. It doesn't really worry us with the grammar too much, I think. I can't see a problem. So I would not worry about how we classed it.
Okay.
I would say gerund, but I wouldn't quibble too much about it. I would say if somebody said that's a continuous form, then I think it's splitting hairs there. So let's go on to the next bit. So we've got to look at what we've done before. So we've learnt some things. We use wish plus the past simple to express a wish that is not true in the present. We also use it to express wishes that might come true in the future. So we know that, but we also noticed that we used the past perfect with wish. That's the real past. So D, wish plus the past perfect was the real past. And that was where? Which one of those was that? The real past. Can anybody remember which one was the real past?
Wish you had revised.
Yes, there's one. Are there any others? I don't remember any others. I'm just looking. No, that's the only one, I think. So we've got that for the real past. And if only is used with the same verb forms as wish. But there's a difference, isn't there, they say.
Mm-hmm.
If only is a bit more emotive and a bit more, oh, if only they would. I wish they would. People sometimes say, I wish, just like this. I wish you wouldn't do that. Very quickly. But if only that. Oh. So it's a bit stronger in feeling. And we saw that its time is used with the past simple to talk about the present or future. And it means that it should have happened. It's let's go. It's time now. It's time we went. And the sentence with it's time the children go to bed is not actually wrong. But it doesn't mean that now they should. It's just speaking about that time. So that's the difference there. And we've got I'd rather. I'd rather is used with the past simple when we want to say what we want to happen in the present or future. So, Jose, can I just ask you to try and do make any kind of sentence with I'd rather, to say something about what we want to happen in the present or future. Can you make a sentence, Jose? I'd rather.
I'd rather.
You can say it the American way as well, like I'd rather.
I'd rather.
I'd rather, I say, but and
I'd rather.
sometimes Jose, I'd rather is a kind of comparative, because you say I'd rather this than that. Mm-hmm. I'd rather, and there's sometimes than.
I'd rather the people are poor. I'd rather the people are poor.
I'm writing it. I'd rather the people
wasn't the people poor.
I'd rather wasn't the people. Right, well, let's have a look at this. I think Inga and Atay, can you help with this sentence? Word order seems to be one problem.
Weren't.
I'd rather.
I'd rather the people wasn't wrong. Wasn't poor.
So let's first of all fix the word order. I'd rather the people, and then wasn't poor. That's better, but still two mistakes, I think.
D is not necessary here.
That's what I thought. The definite article, the people, Jose.
Weren't.
Well, we've got the people and we've got people. So when do we say the people? We speak about people generally without the.
Okay.
So if you're speaking about the people, you had a trip to an African village or something, and you say, I'd rather the people weren't poor. So
Okay,
we've got
okay.
weren't.
Okay.
But generally speaking, we would not need the. But we could have the. It depends. But we really want, I'd rather people or the people. So I'll put the in brackets because it depends on the situation. Rather the people weren't poor.
But teacher,
Yes?
I think we use rather when we are speaking about ourselves or our actions. But when we speak about something that is quite general and it doesn't really involve us, I think we don't use rather.
Well, yes, so that means that in this sentence, we're speaking as if we're almost part of a human aid organisation and we're making decisions about what to do with our money. So we have some choice in it, you're quite right. So that's why I'd rather is something we use when we're involved in the whole situation, in the whole process. So if in this situation we would have some kind of influence on this whole situation and it would involve us. So yes, that's very good. So if it's outside us, outside our control, what would we say instead of I'd rather?
I wish.
Yes, something like that. It's totally out of our control. So we use, good point, I'd rather is used when we are more in control of the whole situation.
Exactly. For someone I have a question. Another question. The verb work, is it a bird or the horse sound?
Which one? Sorry, I couldn't quite catch that.
Work, to work, working.
Work.
It's bird sound.
It's the bird sound. Yes, that's one of the words which I must have said about 20 times because there are particularly Russian speakers of English tend to have a problem with bird, and they say word and work. Both of those should be bird. Yeah,
Okay.
work, word. Both of them should be bird, and work is often confused with or word is often confused with ward.
Word, yes.
And ward is a hospital ward, and word is a word, vocabulary. And world is also, yes, that's also a bird word.
Okay.
The early bird.
My main point is, for someone who is working in the UN, United Nations, so he would rather use rather.
Yeah, because he's got some possible input into the decision-making process about whether or not to send financial aid.
Yes.
And, you know, they may be balancing two aims. One of them is to look after people and make sure that those people have enough to eat, and the other is to counter the rebels or something. So they've got to balance the funds. So then they could say, I'd rather the people weren't so poor, in a defensive argument to somebody saying, we need to spend more on training the militia or something, you know. Yeah, because rather is something which you have a choice. Yeah. So let's see. We've only got a couple of minutes now, so I'm going to have a look and see what we've got here to come up here. Yeah, this might be a good way to continue. We've done I'd rather. I wish I was. That's not so difficult, I think. So I think I'll give that one back to Jose again. I wish I was. Jose, can you try that one, please?
Yes. I wish I was. I wish I was rich.
What was the last word?
I wish I was rich.
I wish I was rich, yes. Okay, and just continue with Jose for a moment, and then when we have some problems with the sentence, we'll help out. So Jose, number two there. Here we've got the past perfect, so that's going to be speaking about reality in the past. I wish I hadn't.
I wish I hadn't. I hadn't.
I can put two words on the end. Can you put some words on the end?
Stop the car.
Yeah, I was going to say done that. I wish I hadn't done that. I wish I hadn't done that. I wish I was taller. I wish I hadn't done that. Yes. So now go on to number 3 then. You're doing a great job now. You've really picked up a lot. So number 3.
I wish they wouldn't did that things.
Yeah, so that's something we can use for other people. Good. And I wish I could.
Did something. That thing.
After the could, after any modal, we use the simple present without to. So I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that. So we've got do that and done that. Number 2, I wish I hadn't done that. Number 4, I wish I could do that. So isn't it interesting? I wish I hadn't done that. So we haven't got a modal verb because had is had not is the main verb. I wish I hadn't done that. Why is that? Why is it done there?
Because it's past.
Yeah, and is there not a modal there?
Sorry?
There is no modal there then. It's correct, isn't it? I wish I hadn't done that, and I wish I could do that. Yes. Yeah, it's because it's the I wish I hadn't done that. Yeah. Okay. So let's try to make a sentence with number 5. So, do you remember the one about it's time?
Yes, it's definitely time. I went to the office.
Great work. Perfect. So, well, the next section is really a quite big section to go on to in just 2 minutes. So I think we'll leave it now and just have a bit of chat about anything. Can anyone see anything that we've covered today that has any little quirks or questions to ask? Atai, you seem to you know this grammar quite well. So, but have you got anything to say about anything?
Yes, I have a question. So my question is for in the second exercise and the third one. Sorry, the first one is I wish I was, but when we are speaking about something that is very real, I think we are using I, and specifically in this sentence we use were.
Yeah, that's right. But you're right. Quite often we use I wish I were and I wish I was. Now,
for example, I wish I were a boy, for example.
Yeah, I think there are times when I wish I were sounds much better than I wish I was, and there are other times when I wish I was can be okay, especially sometimes in sentence forms where you know the word was can have focus like was. Then when it's got that main focus, I think then probably to be a bit more polite and sound better, you would use were. But it's difficult to say when exactly I wish I was is wrong. I would say quite often it's not really wrong, but sometimes it does sound, sometimes it is really not good, but sometimes it's okay. So particularly when you have this word was, it can be, if I was you, that sounds wrong. In that second conditional one,
Yes.
it sounds wrong. If I were you, because it's a kind of structure which you use. If I were you, and they say in lots of books that you should always use were, and I would say that's okay. That's correct, but I would just add that sometimes it's not really wrong to say was. But in the second conditional one, if I were you, that's got to be were. If I was you sounds a bit babyish and a bit wrong. But there are some sentences where was and were are interchangeable.
Okay.
So I think if you want to be sure that you've got it right in the tests, then if you use were, you're always going to be right. Because I would say that were is never wrong. Was can be wrong.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point, and I made a note about your point about rather, because I noticed in my explanations I didn't really spend much time writing about that aspect of it being something under your control, so that's going in.
Okay.
Right, so I'm off to lunchtime now, so see you next time.
Okay, bon appétit.
Okay.
Bon
Thank you,
appetit, thank
teacher.
you.